Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing great and welcome to the part 8 of our Java Basic series. Now in this session we are going to learn about operators in Java. What are operators in Java and what are the different types of operators we have in Java. But before jumping into it, if you haven't watched our previous videos yet, please make sure you watch them and also please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Now let's quickly jump into the concept of operators in Java. Now what are generally operators? Operators are nothing but which are used to perform some basic operations like some basic operations on variables and values, right? Operators in Java are nothing but which are used to perform some basic operations. It can be mathematical operations, logical operations, or anything, but which are used to perform some basic operations on variables and values. Now these operators in Java are broadly categorized into five types. Now what are they? The first one is we have relational operators. Second one is we have assignment operators. The third one is we have logical operators, and the fourth one is we have ternary operators, and the final thing is we have left and right shift operator. Okay, now these are the different kinds of operators we have in Java. Now operators are nothing but which are used to perform some basic mathematical or logical operations on variables and values. Now operators in Java are broadly categorized into five types: the relational operators, assignment operators, logical operators, ternary operators, and left and right shift operators. Now let's learn all of these one by one, right? Now let's start with relational operators. What are these relational operators? Relational operators are nothing but which are used to compare two values and return a boolean result, right? Relational operators are the operators which are used to compare two values and return a boolean result, right? Let's say a and b are two values, right? A and b are two values. Now the functionality of this relational operators is it compares a and b and returns the boolean result. Now what is this boolean result? The boolean is nothing but it's a kind of data type which only returns two values. Those are true and false. Okay, this is about boolean result. Boolean result is nothing but which are used to perform which will return output as true or false, right? Relational operators are the operators which are used to compare two values. Let's say a and b are two values. It will compare these two values of a and b and return whether it is true or false, right? Let's learn it through example. But before going to example, let's see what are the relational operators. Relational operators are nothing but greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, double equal to, and the final thing is not equal to. Now these are the relational operators. By using these relational operators we compare a and b, not only a and b, the variables which are using in the code. We compare these two values and returns the boolean whether it is true or false. Now let's quickly jump into the VS code to understand about relational operators more deeply. Let's say I'm declaring a variable as int a is equal to 9 and other variable as int b is equal to, let's say, 15, right? Now here I'm comparing the two things: int boolean result is equal to, I want to compare a and b using relational operator. Let's say I'm using here less than relational operator, right? And here I'm printing print result here, right? Let's save it. Sorry, it's not int here, it's just boolean, right? Save it. Here we're getting some result. cannot resolve as a variable. Why it is syntax error? Boolean result is equal to a less than b. This is what we are saying, right? What happened? What is the error here? Right. Let's compile and run it first, then we will get about the error. Let's compile it. It is compiling. Let's run it. And after running, you can see the result, right? It is true. Why it is true? Here I am comparing a and b using the relational operator less than. Right? What is a here? 9. B is 15. Is 9 less than 15? It is true, right? 9 is less than 15. So that I am printing the result, the Boolean result, which is false. Which is true. Let's take another example. Now let's say a is greater than b here. Let's save it. Now let's try to compile it. Let's run it. Now the result is false, right? Why? Here we are using greater than relational operator to compare a and b. A is 9, b is 15, 9 greater than 15 is false, right? So that we are returning the Boolean as false. And these are about relational operators. We have other relational operators like double equal to, not equal to. You can try it on your own, right? Now let's learn about assignment operators. What are the assignment operators? Assignment operators are nothing but which are used to assign some value to a variable. Let's say I have int a as a variable is equal to 5. Now what I am doing here, I am assigning the value 5 to the variable a. This is not the assignment. When we use single equal to, this is not the assignment operator, which is used to assign the right hand side value to the left hand side variable. Let's take another example. Let's say string s is equal to, let's say Java, right? What I'm doing here, it is assignment operator single equal to. Using this assignment operator, I'm assigning the Java keyword to the string s, right? This is assignment operator, which is used to assign the right hand side value to the left hand side variable, right? I hope you got a good idea on assignment operators. Now we have so many types of assignment operator, not only this single equals to, we also have plus equals to, minus equals to, right, into equals to, right, and we also have divided by equals to, and we also have percentile equals to, right. These are also known as assignment operators in Java. Now let's see how this works. Initially I want to declare a variable called int a is equal to 5 here, right. Now let's use this first operator, which is plus equals to. Now I am doing a plus equals to, let's say 1. Now what is happening here? What will be happen when I use this plus is equal to operator, right? This a plus is equal to 1 is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1, right? We are using this expression. This expression is written in a shorter format like this, right? A plus is equal to 1 is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1. Let's say here b is equal to 9 is another variable. Let's say int b is equal to 9 is another variable. Now what happens if I do b plus is equal to, let's say 9. B plus is equal to 9 is nothing but b is equal to b plus 9, right? This is how this plus is equal to operation works. Now the similar way the minus is equal to into is equal to works. Let's say we have int c is equal to 5. Now what I want to do is I want to do c into equals to, let's say 10. Now this is nothing but c is equal to c into 10, right? We are writing this expression in a shorter format like this, right? C into equal to 10, a plus is equal to 1. This is the shorter format, right? These are assignment operators in Java. And remember, we also have two main things. Before learning that, I want to introduce to a plus plus and plus plus e. Now these two are very important, right? What are these are known as? Let's say what I am doing is a. Here I will declare a variable called a. Int a is equal to 10. Right. Now what I want to do is I declared a variable called int a is equal to 10. Now I want to do a plus is equal to 1. Right. Now what is this a plus is equal to 1 is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1, right? We have learnt it here, right? A plus is equal to 1 is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1. Now this a plus is equal to 1 or a is equal to a plus 1 means we are incrementing the a by 1, right? Here initially a is equal to 10. A plus is equal to 1 or a is equal to a plus 1 means we are incrementing the a by 1 so that a becomes 11. Now apart from these two, we also have a method to write it, that is nothing but a plus plus. A plus plus is nothing but it will increment the value of the a by 1. Okay, and plus plus a is also same, it will also increment the a by 1, right? Let's say not a here, let's say int v is equal to, I have 25. Now if I do v plus plus or plus plus v, the value of v gets incremented by 1, so that v is equal to, v becomes 26 here. When we use a plus plus or plus plus a, the a will get incremented by 1, and when we have v is equal to 25 here, and when we use v plus plus or plus plus v, we will get the value of v is incremented by 1, right? Now what is the difference between this a plus plus and plus plus a, right? These two are giving the same result, right? If suppose a is equal to 10, this is giving the 11 and this operation also giving 11. Now what is the difference between them, right? Now this a plus plus is known as post increment. Why it is known as post increment? Because initially here assigning the a, then we are incrementing the value, so that it is post increment. Now plus plus a is nothing but we call it as pre-increment. Why it is called as pre-increment? Before assigning a only, we are incrementing the value, then we are assigning it. So that this is post increment and this is pre-increment, right? These are about assignment operators, and let's write a simple code to understand this more deeply, right? Let's quickly jump into VS Code. Let's clear all of this. Now here I am declaring a variable int a is equal to, let's say, 9, and int b is equal to, let's say, 7, and int c is equal to 8, right? You can take any values. I am taking here this 9, 7, 8 for simplicity. Now I want to perform assignment operations on this, right? Using this plus is equal to. Now this, what is this equal to means? We are assigning the value 9 to variable a. What is this equal to means? We are assigning the RHS value 7 to LHS variable b. It's similarly for C. Now let's see how we can perform. How can we perform the assignment operators using these variables? Let's say I'm declaring. No, not that. I will say here a plus is equal to 1, right? And b minus is equal to 2. C into is equal to, let's say, 6. Now before running it, let's execute it. What happening? What is a plus is equal to 1? It is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1, right? A plus is equal to 1 is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1. So what will be the result here? Initially a is 9, so that it is incremented by 1, so the value of a becomes 10 here, right? Now b minus is equal to 2, nothing but b is equal to b minus 2, right? Now initially what was b? 7, right? Now we are deducting 2 from 7, so that the output will be 5. Now similarly for C, what is C? C into is equal to 6 means C is equal to C into 6, right? Now what will be the result here? Initially C is 8, 8 into 6 is 48. right? Now let's print A, B and C using system.out.println. System.out.println, I'm printing A. I want to copy this. Wait, let's paste it. It's taking so much time for even pasting. Let's wait for a few seconds. The network is slow my side. Try it again. No, it's taking more time. Let's type it. System.out.println, and I want to print here B, and similarly I want to print C, right? Here I'm printing A, B and C. I'm saving this. Let's compile it. It is being compiled. No, we got an error here, right? What's the error here? Error cannot find symbol. Why it cannot find any symbol here? System.out.println, written everything same, right? But why it is showing? It is showing here, right? System.out.println of B. I think it's fine, but why it's giving error? Save it again. Let's try to compile it. Run it. Yes, you can see the values right here: 10, 5 and 48. 10, 5 and 48. This is how the assignment operator works. I hope you. Now let's also declare another variable here. Now let's say int d is equal to, let's say, 10. Now what I want to do here is d divided by equals to, let's say, 2. Now what is this? This is nothing but d is equal to d by 2, right? Now the value of d is 2, d by 2 is 5. This d is 10, right? 10 by 2 is 5. Let's also print d here. Let's print d here. Let's save it. Let's compile it. So we'll compile, let's run it, and we can see here, right, the d value is 5. Now this is how assignment operator works. I hope you got a good idea on assignment operator. Now we also learned about pre-increment and post-increment, right? Let's also perform some operations using that. Let's say I'm only going with 2 variables here. Not 2, let's go only with 1 for a better understanding. Int a is equal to 9. Now what I'm doing is I'm declaring int b is equal to, let's say, a plus plus. What is this a plus plus? It is known as pre-increment, right? Sorry, it is called as post increment. So please don't mind. It is called as post increment. Why it is called as post increment? Because initially we are assigning a and then we are incrementing, so that it is post increment. Okay, it's post increment. Now how this works? Here a is equal to 9, right? We are performing b is equal to a plus plus. Let's say we are doing b is equal to a plus plus, right? Now what is the value of a? A is 9, right? In post increment, what we do, initially we assign the value, so that initially a value goes to b, so that b becomes 9 here. So a plus plus means, next, what is a plus plus? A plus plus is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1, right? So what is the value of a become? A initially is 9, now it will become 10. I hope you understand, right? Let me explain you again. I initially declared int a is equal to 9 and int b is equal to a plus plus. Here I am performing post increment. What is post increment? Initially we assign a value, then we increment it, right? Now look carefully. Sorry. Now look carefully. What happening is, in post increment, initially we are assigning, right? So that we are assigning initially a to b. Initially a value is 9, right? So that b value become 9. We initially assigning a to b, so that b become 9, right? I hope you are good with it. Now next, a plus plus. A plus plus is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1, right? We are incrementing the a by 1. A plus plus is nothing but, so that initially a value is 9, now it become 10. Let's see whether it is true or not by printing those. System.out. Let's print a, and let's also print. Right, now let's save it. Let's compile it. Let's run it. You can see the values, right? The a value is 9 and the b value, sorry, a value is 10 and the b value is 9. This is how post increment works. Now let's see how this pre increment works. Let's remove all of this, and instead of a plus plus, I'm saying plus plus a. What is this? This is known as pre-increment, right? Now what will happen in pre-increment? In pre-increment, initially we increment the value, right? Initially we increment the value, then we assign the value. Let's see how it works. Initially we increment the value, right? Initially, what is the value of a? It is 9, right? Now initially we increment it. Now a becomes 10, right? In pre-increment, initially we increment the value. We are incrementing the value of a here. What is a value? Initially it is 9. So that pre-incrementing becomes a is equal to 10, right? Now, so that b also becomes 10 here, right? I hope you understand, right? In post increment, initially we are assigning a to b, so that b becomes 9 only. But here we are pre-incrementing. Before assigning a only, we are incrementing it, so that b becomes 10 and a is 9. Plus plus a is nothing but incrementing the a by 1. A also becomes 10. Okay, let's save it. And let's compile it. So we'll compile, let's run it. Now you can see, right, 10 and 10. Right, I hope you are good with assignment operators. I covered almost every topic in assignment operators. Now let's go through logical operators. What are these logical operators? Now, in coming back, in relational operators, we are comparing two values, right? In logical operators, we compare two conditions. Okay. In logical operators, we compare two conditions. In the logical operators are nothing but, the first one is AND operator, right? And it is declared as this. Now the second one is OR operator, and it is declared as this. The final thing is we have NOT operator, and it is declared as this. Now these three are we have logical operators. By using these three, we'll compare two conditions, right? Let's understand it more deeply by writing a simple code here. Let me remove all of this initially. Okay, I removed all of them. Now let's say int a is equal to 5 and int b is equal to 6. Now int c is equal to, let's say, 4. Right? I declared initially three variables here, which are a, b, and c. Now I'll use logical operations here to perform logical operations on a and b and c variables. I'm using if block here. Let's say if a I want to check whether A is bigger among these three or not, right? If A is greater than B, I'm using AND operator here, and A is greater than C, then what we need to print system.out.println, we need to print A. Not here, let's print A is bigger, right? Let's use else. Also print something here. Let's print A is not bigger, right? I hope you got how I'm writing this code right. Initially I declared three variables A, B and C, and I'm comparing two conditions here, right? I said right, logical operations are used to compare two conditions, and the two conditions here are nothing but A greater than B and A greater than C. These two are the conditions, and I'm comparing these two using AND operator here, right? Now what is the functionality of this AND operator is, AND operator, the functionality of AND operator is both conditions should be true, right? When only both conditions should be true or true, the code inside this block gets executed, right? Otherwise else block gets executed. The functionality of AND operator is definitely, the functionality of AND operator is both the conditions should be true. This is the functionality of AND operator. Definitely the conditions which are comparing two conditions, these two should be true. Then only this condition gets this code gets executed, or else this code gets executed, right? Now let's save this. Let's see how it works. Let's compile it first. Now let's run it. Here what we got result, A is not bigger, right? Why this is getting executed? Because what I said, what is the condition of AND? Both the conditions should be true, right? Let's take first condition. If A is greater than B, 5 is greater than 6. It is false, right? If any of the conditions is false, then this will not be executed. As the first condition is false, but the second condition is true, one of the condition is false among the two conditions, so that this will not get executed. This is how AND operator works. Now let's execute the same code using OR operator. This is OR operator. Let's see. Now what is the functionality of OR operator? For OR operator, at least one condition should be true, right? At least one condition should be true among these two conditions, right? In AND both conditions should be true, right? To execute this logic inside the if block, both the conditions should be true. But in OR we are not like that. In OR, at least one condition can be true among the two conditions. If one condition is true, then this gets executed, right? Now let's save it and let's execute it. Let's see how it works. Let's compile it first and let's run it. Here you can see, right, A is bigger. Let's compare here. A is greater than B. If A greater than B is 5 greater than 6, it is false, right? Let's compare second condition. A is greater than C. 5 is greater than 4, right? 5 is greater than 4, it is true. Means among these both conditions, if any one of the condition is true, this gets executed. Otherwise this gets executed. This is the functionality of OR, right? OR functionality is any of the conditions can be true. AND functionality is both the conditions should be true. This is the difference between OR and AND, right? This is about logical operators. And next let's learn about what is ternary operator. Ternary operator are nothing but, we call it as shorthand of else block, right? You know if else block, right? Just now we learned it, how it works. Shorthand of if else block. And the ternary operator is represented as a question mark followed by colon. This is how the ternary operator is indicated, question mark followed by colon. Let's see how this ternary operator works. by writing a simple code. Now first let's remove all of this, right? uh, Here I'm declaring int n is equals to 10. Let's say initially, what is ternary operator? Ternary operator is nothing but shorthand of if else block. Means uh, we can reduce the number of lines by using if else block. Let's see. uh, what I want to check is if n percentile 2 double equal to 0, means I am checking whether it is even number or odd. I want to print 10, let's say. Okay, now else case, I want to print 20 here. It should not be like this. This should be in the quotes, right? What I'm doing here is initially I declared a variable called int n is equal to 10, and I'm checking whether n percentile is double equal to 0 or not. If it is double equal to 0, means if it is even. What is percentile? Used to check remainder, right? N is 10, 10 percentile 2. Means when we divide 10 by 2, the remainder is 0, right? So it is 0, so that this get executed. If it is not 0, this will get executed. Right, now let's save this and let's see how it works. Let's compile it first and let's run it, and the answer is 10, right? Because now this logic is executing. Why this logic is executing? The condition is correct in if block. As the condition is correct, this gets executed. If the condition is false, this gets executed, right? As the condition is true, this is getting executed. Now ternary operator is shorthand form of if else block, right? Now what can I say? I can perform this whole operation in a single line, right? Can we do that? Yes, we can do that using ternary operator. Let's see how it works. Now what is ternary operator? It is question mark and colon, right? Remember this. Now initially I declared int n is equal to 10, and I want to declare another variable, let's say result is equal to, and I need to mention here what is the condition we are mentioning. In if block, what's the condition we mentioned? N percentile 2, right? Let's mention it here. N percentile 2 double equal to 0, right? Now if this condition is true, we need to print 10. In the previous case, that's the thing we are doing, right? If this condition is true, we are printing 10, so that question mark 10, and if this condition is false, we need to print 20 colon 20. I know you're a bit confused how it works. Now let's first print the result. Print the result first, and let's save it. Now I'll explain how it works, right? In the previous case, we have mentioned this condition if block, right? If this condition is true, the code inside the if block executes. Otherwise, the code inside the else block executes, right? Now in ternary operator, how it works means initially we declared a variable, and initially we return the condition n percentile 2 double equal to 0. Now what is ternary operator? It is nothing but question mark and colon, right? There are similar things we are using here, question mark and colon. Now how it works? Initially I mentioned the condition here. If this condition is true, the output after the result after the question mark will be executed, right? If this condition is false, the result after the colon will be executed. Let's see. Let's save it once again. Let's compile it quickly and let's run it. So what is the result here? It is 10, right? Why this 10 is getting executed? Now this condition is true because 10 percentile 2 is double equal to 0. It is true. As it is true, the result, the value which I am mentioning after the question mark will be executed. Now let's say the n value is 11. Let's save the code. Now let's compile it. Now you can see the difference in the result. Let's run it. Now the result is 20, right? Why it is 20? This n percentile 2 double equal to 0 is false now. As it is false, the value after the colon gets executed, right? If this is true, the value of the question mark gets executed. If this is false, the value after the colon will be executed, right? Here when the n value is 10 in the previous case, as this condition is true, the value of the question mark gets executed and the result we got is 10 in the previous case. But in this case, n is 11. 11 percentile 2 is not equal to 0. As it is not equal to 0, as this condition is false, now the logic after the colon gets executed, which is 20. I hope you were good with this ternary operator. Now, we have the final thing. I'm clearing this. If you want to, if you can take the screenshot to explain left and right shift operator. What is this left and right shift operator means? Right? It is used on binary operations. Remember, it's not that much important, right, in our Java journey, but let's learn only concept wise, right? Let's say I'm taking some value, some binary value. Binary value is always in zeros and ones, right? Binary values are always in zeros and ones. Always remember it. Now, this is the binary value I'm taking. Now, what is left shift and what is right shift? Left shift is represented by, it is left shift, this is right shift. Okay, this is left shift and this is right shift. Now how can we perform left shift and right shift operations on this binary value? Let's see. Now I want to do this binary value operation with using left shift first. Now I want to do left shift for three values, right? This is left shift and I want to do this is left shift till here and I want to do left shift for three values, right? As it is left shift, let's start by this left side. As it is 3, we need to remove these three things from the last. Okay, now let's write, by removing these three things, this will be remaining, right? So that let's copy it and let's paste it here. Now as it is left shift 3, we are removing three values from the left side, right? And we have added the remaining thing here. Now what we have to do right here is we have to add three zeros here, right? We have to add three zeros here. Suppose on this value I want to perform left shift for, let's say, 4. Means first we need to do left shift for 4 values, so that we need to start from left for 4 values. By removing these 4 values, we have to write the remaining thing. Let's copy this, let's paste this, and for the remaining values we need to keep zeros. This is how left shift works. Now let's see how right shift works. Let's say for this I want to perform right shift for 3 values, so that we need to start from right and we need to remove these 3 values. After removing these 3 values, this is the remaining, right? So that let's copy it, let's paste it here. Sorry, we are doing right shift 3, right? Give me 1 second, something happened. What happened here? Understand? So okay, I think my system is slow here. I think you are good with till now what I explained. I explained till left shift, right? I'll explain now right shift in another class. Please don't worry. If you like that video, please make sure you like, share and subscribe. Okay, also share with your friends. Thank you.